Hey everybody, Jim Powers of MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision as we catch up with some of our outstanding student athletes, not only the ones getting it done in a classroom, but also getting it done out on the court. And this guy has just been lighting it up all year long. He's one of our Saints of the Week, Casey Teson. And Casey, another great weekend for you, especially against Truman on Saturday. And I tell you what, I mean, to put up 39, at Pershing, which is, always a tough place to play. Talk a little bit about the weekend and just about your season in general, which you've just been doing some terrific things.
Our season isn't going the way we kind of wanted to, going off our record, but we're kind of a team that you got to watch out for. I think a lot of coaches are kind of scared to play us just because all the weapons we have throughout our offense. But this past weekend, we took a L to Quincy and then quickly bounced back against Truman. And, that's kind of I think we can flip our season around after that win.
You're one of the guys that has really taken over a leadership role of this team. Last year you had a chance to play under Nolan and Jimmy and kind of learn what their leadership style was all about. What about your leadership style? How are you kind of like rallying everybody together and saying, hey, we still got a lot of time in the season to turn this thing around and get things going in our direction?
Yeah, the guys know we still have 10 conference games left, and a lot of the guys are new, so they don't really know how the system works. But, if we got a few more road games and if we get those wins, we're right back up on top, and we have a great chance of making the tournament.
You're one of those guys that, and I covered you in high school, and you're the consummate gym rat. In the summertime, you go to work, and then you come down here and shoot. It shows out on the court. How do you put that mindset into where you got to put the work in the off season to be able to be as successful as you are on the floor during the season?
Well, that's just how I've grown up. I kind of made it a habit to try and get into a gym every day, and if it didn't, that really bugged me if I didn't get in the gym. And so, I just made sure, no matter how hard my day was at work or, how early I was up or how late I was up that night, but I have to go into the gym or else it's just going to bug the crap out of me.
How many shots a day do you think you put up?
Sometimes I'll get on that gun. I'll probably put up about 500, but just depending on the day and how I feel. Sometimes I'll give myself an individual workout and work on, mid-post stuff, and other days I'm going to get on the gun. So it just depends on how I'm feeling that day.
And that's one thing too is you can shoot from any place, but I think this year more you're kind of taking what the defense is giving you and you're driving a little bit and then stepping up and doing that fadeaway jumper. That's a part of your game that I think has really come the most over the last couple of years.
Yeah, over the summer I really focused on that mid-post game and trying to figure out which ways I can score in the mid-post. And, if the guy's sagging off him, obviously he's going to shoot it. And if he's giving me a little pressure, I'm going to back him down and give him a fadeaway out of either side.
We've seen some great players, throughout, Maryville and even in the GLVC. And your name is now being tossed around as a lot, some of those guys. How does that feel for you personally, but also how does it carry over to the team in, hey, we still got a lot of things that we can get accomplished this year?
Yeah, last year going off 20 and 6 record or something like that, I was averaging 11 points. And then, coaches probably didn't know that I had all that stuff in my bag. So I think a lot of coaches are surprised with that. And then, just going onward with the season and, being confident. When you score points like that, your confidence just keeps on going. And then teammates see that, Casey's got it going, maybe I can get it going. So I think that helps out.
Just gets that snowball effect going where, if they see you confident out there, it's always that trickle-down effect in the game of basketball.
Yeah, and, I try and do a great job of keeping our players' heads up. Dez is a great shooter. And Bobby's really lighting it up as a freshman. You don't see a lot of freshmen stepping up like Bobby, and that's huge. We need that. Just all the guys. They're all stepping up in the right times.
And I think your leadership, too, it has really, the one kid, another kid that I've had a chance to cover, Zach. Look at where he has come, over the last year and a half.
Yeah, Zach in practice, I'm not going to lie, he's always been kicking my butt. And, and one-on-one drills are just 5-on-5. I never want to guard Zach, but, I always get stuck on guarding him. And I know he's a lot quicker than me. He's got some length on me, and he can work the mid post too. So Zach can score at all 3 levels as well, and that's pretty scary.
And having that in practice makes you a better player. That's the way it all. As a former basketball coach, I love when my guys get after the practice because it's going to make everybody better.
Yeah, I mean, we try to compete every day in practice, but the main thing is just be hard on each other, but be truthful to each other. If someone's slacking, you got to tell them.
No doubt about it. I asked this of all of our student athletes. Why did you choose Maryville to further your education and also your basketball career?
Well, first and foremost, I'd go with Coach Strick. It's hard to pass up a coach like him. I've known him for quite a long time now, and once I saw that he got the job, I couldn't pass that up. And then as far as Maryville, Maryville is growing so really fast, and just it's close to home as well. I wanted to come home, play close to my family, so my mom and other family members could come out and support me.
And also, you had a chance to play with some guys you know really well last year with Nolan and Jimmy, Robin, Chaz this year. I mean, that's got to be pretty cool to be able to play with some guys that you played against in high school, but also got to know really well in the high school days.
Yeah, so Nolan and Jimmy, it was kind of funny because, I never actually got to play them in high school, but I always heard they were always over, the newspaper, the news. And so when I heard, Jimmy and Nolan were at Maryville, I was like, wow, I actually get to play with these guys. I've heard so much about them, and I was stoked about that. And then you got Robin and Chaz. So, me and Chaz were always competing for who's the best shooter in St. Louis. So, us coming together is really exciting.
But you still have one thing, though, over them on the high school level, don't you?
Yeah, I got the state championship, yeah. I don't think none of them have it.
No.
Yeah, so we never played Rob either, actually. We always entered the tournament, the MICDS tournament that you cover. I guess they were never good enough to make it to the top. So, we never got to see them. But, obviously everyone knows Rob. Everyone knows Chaz, Nolan, and Jimmy. So, yeah.
No doubt about it. Thanks so much, buddy. Good luck the rest of the way. I know a lot of big things coming up over the next 5 weeks.
Sure. Thank you, JP.
No problem. Casey Teson, one of our Saints of the Week. You're able to catch him on Saturday as the Saints head up to UMSL in the crosstown rivalry game to take on the Tritons. They'll play at 3 o'clock on Saturday. You'll be able to watch the game on the JLVC Sports Network this coming week. If you can't make it, make sure you follow us on Twitter at Maryville Saints. We'll keep you updated all afternoon long. For Casey, I'm Jim Powers. Thanks so much for tuning in to MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision. Have a great week. And as always, go Saints.